Love family. So I keep telling y'all, don't worry about what them folks is doing because you need not to pay attention to what they doing because they're not telling you what they doing. And you don't want to feed into the fear that they trying to give you. That's why I told y'all, don't worry, don't give a damn about what they doing. You focus on what we gonna have and we will have it. You don't focus on what they doing because that's fear. We fear no one and nothing because we are source. Code and key, primordial deity, primordial dragon.
What year? 1531.
Giants. We are the ones that created all the planets and everything else that was good. Point blank. Stop being scared, people. I'm sick of y'all being scared. The very few that are scared. I don't give a damn about what the fuck they do, but I will tell you about what they really doing. The problem is you're looking at what they say they doing, which is a bald-faced lie, instead of looking at what they actually doing. And you ain't gonna figure out what they doing as long as you looking. All right? You just wait for Great Mother to tell you what they doing, and then it gets revealed, because that's what I do. I don't give them my energy and put my energy into all that stuff. That's stupid. Don't give them your energy. So let me help y'all out. They came looking for who? The Khan people. Who? The Dragon people. The what? The primordial deity people, huh? Source code, the fire, the flame, the key. Us. Because we are the ones that made everything and do everything just by thinking it into existence, by a drop of a dime, a snap of a finger, just like that. And it will be, and it is so, because it's happening. And these folks are going down because we said so, because it's happening, because we control all reality. We control all good and all evil. Y'all need to get this in your head and stop being worried about what they doing. Now let's keep going. Of course, they don't want y'all to hear nothing.
Where's North America? I see Florida, boss. Uh-oh. Got 'em. Got 'em. So, yeah, you... I mean, if you don't see clearly by now, this India-Asia situation, Lost Tribes and Promised Land, told you this is a vague term. The third India, we're talking about a region of dark-skinned people, vast regions. We're talking about the farthest India. And he's known as the first European to reach India by sea. Going around the Cape of Good Hope and all this, so... Did he capture a Naga queen and king? I mean, I think that's very possible. And they made it into a mother-sucking opera.
Now pause. If you go look at this video, you will find that they look for us all over the world, and they was trying to find us because we are the Dragon people. Okay, you want to get it? You got it? Good. Let's keep going. Let me figure
it out. But I know that it is less of us.
Planet is a dragon. And our awakening has caused the other dragons to awaken. We have something to fight for. Trump and no one else can retain the so-called power that they have given themselves. We have no other choice. We will hold them accountable for everything that they have done. Everything. Everything has been weighed, measured, recorded. The awakening is here.
Piecing together more puzzles in this sci-fi episode. So stay with me with this Ring of Fire because it gets more mystical. Because once again, the effects of this is going worldwide. wide, yeah. Let's not forget the toxins that are being emitted from all of these volcano eruptions, okay? Because once again, the volcano that hasn't erupted in over 12,000 years, the one that helped cause the Ice Age, yeah, that one in Ethiopia. Big Mama done woke that one up, and then you have Indonesia and Japan, and then you got Hawaii and Ethiopian volcano sending out resonance, shooting out frequencies to where they erupt even more at the same time, coincidentally. And we cannot forget that it's happening underwater as well. You have the underwater volcano in Chile that has erupted as well, shaking the ocean floor. And we cannot forget that's what gave birth to Zealandia and why that mysterious eighth continent is now appeared. And we cannot forget the reason that all of these waves that are coming in, and the reason why everything is going so crazy is because we have the Leviathan that came out of the Arctic Sea that is heating up the ocean floor as we speak, that is sending out waves and tsunamis that are like no other. And they're alleging that there's supposed to be a tsunami that's going to hit here coming soon. So, stay with me. Here we go to the green screen.
The ring of fire just woke up and everything around it is cracking open. In the last 2 days, volcanoes have started erupting again from Indonesia to Japan, and the seafloor near Chile has begun to shake like a heartbeat. Off Japan's Iwate coast, a 6.9 earthquake hit this week, the strongest in the region since summer, and smaller tremors keep following along the same trench that triggered the 2011 disaster. People think these are separate events, but they are not. Scientists say it's just another cycle, but cycles don't glow red on every edge of the Pacific at the same time.
Do y'all see what I'm saying? Do y'all see what stage is being set for us right now? We have way bigger fish to fry than politicians in bills and laws. You know what I'm saying? I hope you follow me.
Listen, man, so I had this dream last night that they tried to take out Levi, and I'm saying the name short because they don't really like us saying the full name, you know? They tried to kaboom, Levi, but it ended up waking him up. Like at first, I seen all this stuff on the water, I'm telling you. He was on the water, he started shaking, and then his eyes opened. That was the one thing to look for, his eyes opening. Then he started to get up. Now, this is just a dream that I had last night, just a dream. But I did get on here seeing people saying that they at war with him. Man, if that thing wake up, it's a wrap. Like, the good news is you don't got to pay bills anymore probably or go to work, but you're going into survival. Like, if that's what they going underground for, I won't blame them. But at the same time, that's where it's at. Like, and I got some theories of things that's most likely can happen too. I might start sharing some of those.
Understand where we stand as original beings. We carry the dragon DNA within us. This is well known among our knowledgeable enemies, which is why we have a whole societal structure that will want to keep us in the mindset that we're human, because humans don't have souls. We contain the soul of the dragon. We contain that power, the energy. We contain the force, the vibration, the frequency. This is who we are. And never doubt yourself. Alright, never doubt yourself.
You know, in ancient times that the Chinese had referred to black people as dragons. It sounds crazy, but I feel like it was a derogatory term at a certain point. But check this out. This information was brought out by Constantine Samuel Rafinesque, and he was a French, and he was a biologist as well. And we're going right here to the geology and history of China before the flood by C.S. Rafinesque. Their duration is substantial 45,606 years, which reduced to moons would be only 3,508 years. These jinn or men appear to be jinns or jinnis of the primitive Arabs and Persians who came in contact with them in East Himalaya and Iran, famous in Antediluvian, that's like Adamite era, in Genesis with the Eden and stuff like that, and history as good and beneficent beings, friends of the perished, the ancient Iranians or Persians. All right, now check this out down here. That these 10 Tai Jinn were not Kai periods, but rather Shai, or families of mankind, is evident by no dynasties being numbered among them. Like I said, who was this talking about? They talk about Antediluvian. Now look, when it says they were often collectively made a Kai name, the San Huan, the Huan, or something like that. These Chinese, Japanese names. But then the Yulong form the second Kai, while the third was no name and therefore no existence. Now check this out. It says, I rather consider them as 3 first Kai, either implying 3 periods or 3 divisions of mankind. And I find a 4th division in the Yulong, sometimes deemed a 4th period, meaning black monsters or dragons, a metaphorical name for the primitive Negroes of Asia, born in the sandy and sultry regions of Asia, from the jinn whom they are deemed sons. So like I said, they called dragons the primitive Negroes that was there. Now according to him, he said that these primitive Negroes had entered into North America too. We're talking about in a span of 45,000 years, right? So, what happened to those black people that was in America? And again, I told you, I got Asiatic blood too. So what happened to them, Mr. Pan-Africans? What happened to those dragons that came into America? And I end this case.
That's one thing that got me tripping. It's this one thing that got me tripping. It's this one thing you saw made me feeling. It's this one thing you did. It's this one thing that caught me slipping. It's this one thing I want to admit. It's this one thing that I was so weird. It's this one thing you did.
This is who we are. Lost history. Lost knowledge. To make sure that we didn't awaken. But awakening was going to happen anyway. That great awakening was going to happen, and now we have awakened the dragons, but we must awaken even deeper so that we can bring this whole system that was created to a fucking close. We got the power. We got the power. They don't want us to know about this. This is why they hid so much information. African American, colored American, black. The foolishness of mankind. The foolishness.
A comment that I got, let's see, right here, a Valentino, it says, by us waking up, it is waking up the dragon. But I love that you said that, because it's so much deeper than that. Because for me, I really want y'all to have these conversations within your household, within your community, with your children, because it's a lot more deeper and grounded than a lot of y'all think. And waking up isn't enough. Like, you have to be woke or awake, like within you. Awareness without inner awakening, it changes nothing. The real work is internal. So you can wake up to the world but still be asleep to yourself. Like, external awakening means nothing without internal alignment. You have to be aligned. Collective awakening starts externally, right? But transformation only happens when the inner self wakes up too. So once we start waking up on the outside, is just strictly information. That's information. Passing along information. Rinse and repeat, right? So waking up within, that's the transformation. So most people stop at the first layer, which is what? Waking up on the outside, which is the information. This is the information that I'm giving to everybody else. So we all share information on a daily basis. Scroll through the app, we got information all day long. But waking up within is the second layer. Waking up within is the transformation, right? So y'all have to get past that first layer. That external awakening, it looks like seeing the corruption, seeing the patterns, seeing the systems, questioning the narratives. You know, you feel the anger, you feel the urgency, you feel the fear. And then, like, sometimes you can look at shit and you can be, hold on, wait, I really see what's going on. All of my eyes are open. All of my eyes are open. And that's not truly like awakening yet. That's more like disillusionment. I hope this makes sense. I don't know. Either way, it's necessary. The first step is absolutely necessary. Waking up is necessary, but it's not complete. It's not complete as a collective. For us, we still have work to do. That inner awakening hits different. That's what's going to hit different. That's what's going to be different. That's when, you know, that same scrutiny, it turns inward, within. You start to notice how fear still runs you. You'll see how old wounds choose your reactions. You realize truth without regulation. That becomes violence. You stop outsourcing power to your enemies and systems and symbols and stuff like that. Yes, the inner awakening asks you, where am I still asleep inside of my own habits, inside of my own attachments, my ego, my trauma, my unmet needs? And that's okay. That's fine. We all got to walk through that valley, and we all got to figure it out. But I know that it is less of us that are figuring it out internally versus externally. So again, the external awakenings, it gives you identity, community, certainty. It gives you someone to blame. That inner awakening, it demands you to have that responsibility, that humility, that your nervous system is, and you're able to let go of the story of just being special, if that makes sense. No audience is gonna applaud that. Nobody cares, right? Nobody cares. You have to sit with that and know that's okay. So yes, I'm glad that you said that. I'm glad that you brought it up, and that's step one. And we all gotta make it to step two.
Flint, I heard y'all was coming back, but y'all really the Anunnaki. We really the Anunnaki.
You are some of our most ancient and royal family members. You will soon remember.
That's great. They've started to activate. We have reports of a group running toward Vegas.
Contact the higher-ups. We have to activate and deploy the Winter Soldiers. We can't waste time.
I've been preparing for this the last 40 years. Nothing works on these people except for cold, hard aggression and perseverance.
Perseverance? They wiped LA out in a single day.
A day! Then we match a day with everything we've got.
We have 5 billion clones and Winter Soldiers spread throughout the country waiting to be activated.
Then activate them. They knew what they signed up for. We own them.
Damn, my head's pounding.
You okay, Ruiz?
My head is killing me. My head's killing me.
Collins, you all right? Collins?
Command, this is General Reyes. We have an entire base of soldiers ready to go. We'll converge with the rest at point 6.
Command, this is Talon 1. Visual on 3 hostiles. Size estimate 100 feet. They're moving east at impossible speed.
Copy, Talon 1. Do not engage yet. Maintain tail and report any changes.
Hold position until...
Command, this is Viper 2. We have visual on all 5 targets moving east at impossible speed. They're heading straight for the metro. Copy, Viper 2. Maintain tracking. Do not engage until authorized.
They're covering 3 miles every...
We have the Winter Soldiers on the ground ready to face them, but what we need to do is get as far away as possible. Now, the greatest threat to democracy have us on their radars, and they don't plan to let us leave. Now, I say we use every resource available. America is ours. It's like Vegas, they call it. Those parasites turn lush forest and beautiful cities into a wasteland of sand.
We will rebuild Tiamat. Rightfully so.
The 144,000 in each state and every major city.
How about we activate the portals to the other 8 realms? Let the rest of the family join in on this.
I told y'all what it was. Y'all notice they ain't touched none of our folks,
Detroit, baby. You feel me? Hey, get this. Hey. Yo, look at that thing, bro. It's crazy. We still outside with it. Old City Buggers, we vibing. Look it up, look it up. Hey. Yo, best jumper in Brooklyn. Watch this. Tell them the view don't get better. It is and now we good, Brooklyn.
Yo, keep moving.
Oh, God, please. Please.
They could say one still lives.
Dragon is moving, you guys. The nose used to be over there, and you can see with the head here once sat right up in there. And I just showed you all that it's having earthquakes in this area, and now this head is starting to face in a more downward direction. Now, let's take talk about it. You guys remember that dragon that we found at the bottom of South America and Antarctica? You know, the one that I told you I believe is waking up? The head has moved. It has now turned and is starting to face a more southward direction. Look at this shit. Here's an update about Levi the dragon that we found. If you look here, you guys, you can see that the head has moved. This head used to be a lot more straight. If you look at the nose here, this is where the nose used to sit. It is sliding, people. It's moving. Look at the head. Right here, look. That is the spot where it used to sit. That head here used to be straight. It is turning, people. Do you see that?
Year for the black woman, the black American woman, right? The rebirth, right? The return of a nation. I believe this has a lot to do between this quote unquote dragon that is waking up, right? Theoretically, the head of the snake or of the dragon is in the Venezuela area, right? And so if you guys have been watching TikTok and if your frequency is buzzing higher than the average person, then the correlation of this rebirth has to deal with the snake. You see, in ancient Egypt, right, they worshiped the snake, right? They had the snake on the implement, right, to show their higher power, their superiority of intelligence and technology, right? And the person who held this information and knowledge and passed it along to the people was the women, right? They went to go see the women of the past in order to have this type of knowledge, this God-level knowledge, right? And so the snake and the woman, in a sense, are one and the same because the woman is the head of the snake, is the brains, is the architect of the design. The men are the tail, right? That's actually the momentum that is doing the will of what the head wants it to do. And so if you guys are cultured and you know anything about dragons of the past, right? In the Chinese culture, they tell you about dragons protecting, right? They tell you about Buddha, which is also a black man, right? Of the dragon holding the world, right? The indigenous call it Turtle Island, whereas this idea that the land that we live on is on a giant turtle's back or a dragon's back, right? And so this is what I want to correlate the black woman to the dragon, because we have to understand that the black woman, right, if we look in nature, we can see the black woman, right? The trees, the bushes that grow, right? Hair similar to like the black woman's hair, how it grows like a bush, right? Copper color, wool, you know, we can find that in nature. But when you realize that that nature is also connected to the dragon, because the soil that we walk on, the trees that grow out of the ground are growing off the back of the dragon, right? So when you put two and two together, the skin that we literally have on us, right, is part dragon. Now let me not lose you, because if our essence of black people is in the nature that we see, right? The same dirt, right? The same color as the copper colored ones, right? The red sand, the dirt in the ground. That same dirt is the dragon. So which means that our DNA is the dragon. The angels being depicted on these biblical references is showing that that is the dragon. You are the dragon. Our ancestors are dragons. This is why they taught our kids in grade school about dinosaurs versus dragons, because then we will be able to be smart enough to understand that a depiction of an angel that has feathered wings flying around is nothing more than a fiery serpent. And they've been trying to tell us this for years, and I just figured it out. Our ancestors are serpents. We, at a higher level frequency, appear as dragons. Now think about it. Satan fell as a dragon. Now falling means that it changed. He was at a higher dimension. At his highest dimension, right? He was viewed and looked at as a dragon, a serpent, right? A cherubim, right? And so we have to also understand this. Satan is also a black man who harbors the 666. 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, right? The beast, right? Your body is the beast that is incorporating the light. Your light is basically personified in this 3D realm. So when that light falls from a higher dimension to our dimension, it has to personify in 3D. In order for you to personify, you need the skin to be over the spirit. That skin over the spirit that was taken from the dirt, like they say in the Bible, right? That dirt would have to be the essence of a dragon. And this is why black women and dragons correlate, is because black women are the portals that allow light spirits to come into this world and be personified. So in order for that light to have the 666, that God gene that's inside of you, right, is the dragon. The dragon is the God. Oil is not oil, right? This oil is coming from the soil, deep down from the soil. If that same soil is a part of the dragon, then that could be the blood of the dragon that we are using to power and drive our vehicles. And even though the blood of the dragon is mythical, it's magical, this is probably why they use it as an energy source to power and drive our technology. It makes a lot of sense. And then if you think about it, that means then that we've got the story in reverse. That means that the serpent is the good guy. That means that the God of this world is evil, because you got to think about this, right? If our government is panicking that this quote-unquote snake that was frozen, right, by the Arctic technology, right, frozen in time, right? Why wouldn't they be excited that this animal will be returning? Because wouldn't evil like to use evil for evil deeds? Like, if this dragon is the world that we're stepping on, I'm pretty sure they would want it to wake up so that way that world can be destroyed, right? But I don't think that's the case. I believe, just like Godzilla, the movie that they keep telling you, God is the dragon, Godzilla is coming back, returns to fight the evil, right? The Egyptian culture teaches that the snake is the protector both in the physical and the spiritual realm. This is why those hieroglyphs had serpents with wings. You got to understand, even the book of Enoch talks of fiery serpents guiding the sun through portals, protecting our sun through portals? Why are serpents protecting the sun? They tell us in Dragon Tales, they told us in Dragon Ball Z, right? It's the dragon that is granting the wishes. It's the dragon that is the god Tyr, just like they will tell us in the Chinese cultures, right? Their ancestors of the dragons in the ground are a part of our biological makeup. If the dragon's skin and blood fuse with our light, this is why all these movies, all these shows talk of dragons, right? But I believe that that dragon that's waking up in Venezuela is on the side of good, right? That dragon is connected to the minds of the melanin people, and we're waking up in our consciousness, and I believe that has to deal with the snake. I believe that dragon is on our side and is connected to black women, and black women being the head of the snake, right? That God tier level of consciousness is returning in the masses. This is why they wanted the black woman to fall under lust and sexual immorality and listen to these rap songs and bad idols, is because if they aren't at tier level, everything else follows at low tier level, because women maximize, they can reproduce and make copies of smart God. But when our brain capacity is higher than 10%, we basically form as dragon. 2020.
The angelic beings were literally dragon beings in what you call human form. We carry that same bloodline with those ancient ones. So you're going to have to learn how to not have any fear, no doubt, no anxiety, frustration, balance, grounded, and use the breath. You have boundless power, limitless power. We contain the most sovereign energy. You can wipe out a whole military army. You understand that? This is who we are. This is something we must take serious.
Y'all fell for it once again, didn't y'all? Y'all dropped the ball once again, didn't y'all? So maybe they should have dropped that ball in New York, because y'all really believe this is just about oil? Did y'all really think it was just about drugs? Didn't we tell y'all that these people are just actors on the world stage, and when they're telling you something in the mainstream media, there's actually something else going on in the background? Didn't we tell y'all? Didn't I show you guys what's in the waters of Venezuela? Do you guys see that outline out there? You guys see that big snake dragon looking outline in the waters of Venezuela and Haiti, Puerto Rico, Jamaica out there? Do you guys see that? Do you guys know what this is? Because this right here is what got my main TikTok account shut down in the first place. Y'all really think it's about drugs? Okay, well, let's just say that this is about drugs and we're going to believe Donald Trump. You see, I deal with numbers. I don't believe what men and women say. I study gematria. Do you guys want to see what word lines up with drug and gematria? Look at this. Levi and drug give you the same numerical value in the same cipher. Hold on, look at this. Y'all not going to tell me y'all don't see that giant python, snake, dragon being in the water right there. Y'all not going to tell me. And then for it to match up in gematria, y'all still don't believe me with the numbers? Okay, what is Venezuela known for? A lot of you guys might say crude oil, right? You are actually correct. What if I told you crude oil was code word for something else? Huh? What is that? Look at this, y'all. Hold on. You guys want to know why you know absolutely nothing about your government and why they've been supporting other countries except for ours? It's because they've been speaking in code this whole time. Can somebody please help me understand why? Why the two most prominent reasons why Donald Trump went after the president of Venezuela has to do with the archetype of Leviathan in gematria. And then when you look in the waters of Venezuela, you clearly see what appears to be a Leviathan. Yeah, I'm telling you guys right now, the world is a stage and something bigger is happening that we're not being told. I want y'all to remember what the archetype of the Leviathan means and to understand that we do not have DNA, we have DEA. If you know, then you know. I can go so much deeper into this, but I'm not going to. All I gotta say is the world is a stage. JFK Airport, just effing kidding, right? It's too deep, y'all. It is too deep.
We have Metaconians. We are the dragon blood race. And we have woken up some dragons. Our dragons. Keep meditating. Keep doing your Tai Chi. Keep doing your breath work. Keep taking the stuff to clean out your body. It's happening. It's happening. Multiply your power. Do the work. Multiply your power. It's happening.